I'm Dr. Ellen Vora. I'm a holistic psychiatrist and the author of The Anatomy of Anxiety. Psychedelics as a general category, in certain ways they rhyme with what we're already doing in the mental health field. They're active on serotonin receptors, not unlike our common psychiatric pharmaceuticals. We're fighting against quite a lot of cultural stigma. And we think that because they're illicit and illegal and recreational, that these are going to be addictive substances, when in fact the data shows us that in many ways they're anti-addictive. They might help somebody move away from a different substance use disorder. They also work in ways that are fundamentally different from our current treatments. There's interesting research called the mystical experience hypothesis, where we see that part of how psychedelics are working is that the extent to which somebody experiences a peak mystical experience in a psychedelic treatment correlates with the antidepressant effect. So that's different from our conventional psychiatric medications. We're not just looking at modulation of serotonin activity, we're looking at a shift in worldview and mindset that has an impact on our overall well-being. So there's a lot of overlap between conventional psychiatric medications like antidepressants and psychedelics. And while they're both acting on the behavior of serotonin, a particular neurotransmitter in the brain, they have really different effects. Sometimes somebody in a psychedelic treatment might actually cry quite a lot. They might even feel like they access that ability to feel emotions deeply better than they otherwise would in their lives. We might conventionally think that that's a bad thing, but what I've come to appreciate is that that is medicine, that's actually part of why these treatments are so effective. Rather than tamping down or blunting an emotional process that's inside of us, it gives us an opportunity to move through it and let it come up and out, and then we can arrive at a place of resolution. The key to a successful psychedelic therapy experience, I think, has a lot to do with approaching it the way it's structured, with preparation, treatment, and integration. And preparation is so critical because you do want to establish rapport with your therapist. You want to feel trust, and so that you can feel safe and fully let go to the experience. I think what's most important there is actually to enter with both an intention but also no expectation. It is said in the psychedelic field that it's 10% about the big experience and 90% about integration. So just having a psychedelic experience alone does not cure PTSD or depression, but it is a very helpful augmentation and enhancement of the therapeutic process. So integration is really where it's at, and that's where you revisit insights gained from the experience, you galvanize it, you start to make a plan for how to incorporate this into your day-to-day life. It's beautiful that we're destigmatizing these medicines, that there's more public conversation about their benefits, but I think we can be prone to then thinking of it as a silver bullet, and that we just go in and have this experience and it's going to fix everything. When in fact, it's going to be different for everyone, it's going to be different every time, and it does not heal us alone. It heals us in combination with integration therapy. What the research currently shows us is that psychedelics can be beneficial for depression, for especially treatment-resistant depression, for end-of-life anxiety and angst, and MDMA in particular is a very effective treatment for PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, and psychedelics are in ongoing research right now for the treatment of everything from substance use disorders, alcoholism, to eating disorders and OCD. When someone's trying to decide what type of psychedelic therapy to move forward with, there are a lot of different considerations. We have to keep tempering our expectations and make sure we understand that these can be very useful tools in conjunction with therapy. It has risks and considerations. As with everything, it's more nuanced and more complex. We need to start bringing a growth mindset view to mental health, to see this as perhaps we have a genetic vulnerability, but not a genetic destiny. And while we might be exhibiting symptoms today, that can change under the right conditions. For more information, you can check out my book, The Anatomy of Anxiety, and visit oprahdaily.com.